Hey, what's up everybody? It's the Hyphenate here, and today I'm going to show you guys top to bottom how to use the new DJI Mic 2. All the buttons, functions, menu, etc. Here I have the receiver and the transmitters. All of them are on and connected. All right, so here in the front we have a touchscreen, a rotary knob, and a push button. On the left, we have two 3.5mm jacks, one for the output to connect to your camera, and a headphone jack for monitoring. On the right side, we have a power button. Now when your receiver's on, you can actually lock the touch screen by pressing in the power button once. You'll see it says screen locked. And now no matter what you do, it's going to be locked. You won't be able to adjust any of the settings. And when it's locked, it also doesn't allow any button or rotary functions. To be able to use the functions again, go ahead and unlock by pressing the power button once again, and it'll say unlocked. On the bottom, we have a cold shoe mount, and on the back, we have a USB-C port, and you can use that for either charging or connecting to a computer for firmware updates. Here we have the metal pins for the charging case. And then we have this cover here that you can pull down and off so that you can connect either of the included USB-C or Lightning adapters so that you can easily connect this directly to a phone, tablet, or computer. Now, if you don't want to plug this in directly to your mobile device with this adapter, you can leave this off and actually connect a USB-C cable. It needs to be at least a USB 3.0, though I recommend a 3.1 or above. Now on the home screen, you'll have your transmitter levels moving, which will show you the battery indicator for each transmitter. And then on the top, you actually have kind of a status bar here showing you the connectivity of each transmitter, the battery of the receiver, as well as what mode and functions you're in. For example, right now, I'm on M, which is mono, meaning both transmitters are transmitting equally to the left and right channels. And then you can see here it says 32BF for a 32-bit float, meaning my internal recording in my transmitters is in 32-bit float. Now you can enter the menu by swiping down, swipe up to get out of the menu, and you can go into individual transmitter settings. When you swipe up from the left, that gives you transmitter 1, and when you swipe up from the right, that gives you transmitter 2 options. You'll have a record button, a mute button, and a noise cancellation button. Personally, I pretty much almost always shoot with noise cancellation off. So you can see here it has a little slash on it. And that's because I tend to do noise reduction in post. Though if I'm doing something super quick and I do want the noise cancellation on, all I have to do is press that button. And now you'll see it's yellow without the slash. Now if I want to mute this transmitter, press the mute button. You'll see the little slash. To unmute, press the button again. And then if I want to record, all I have to do is press the record button. It'll show record in red. Stop recording, press it again. Again, this is for internal recording on the specified transmitter. Now, I'm going to start recording, press the mute, and turn on noise cancellation. So we'll go back to home, and you can see here it actually shows you the status of all those options. Swipe back up. I'm going to turn all that stuff off. Swipe back down to go to the home. Now here on the home screen, you actually have a few other options you can adjust by pressing in this button here. And you can see on the top it highlights. With the top bar selected, turning the wheel allows me to change the gain on the receiver. Press it again. And now you can change the gain of the transmitter, change it again, and you can go to the transmitter gain. Press it again, and you're done. All right, now let's go into the menu by swiping down. We have the receiver settings here. Here it says mono. If we click on that, we actually have another little menu, and you can change from mono mode, both transmitters sending equally to the left and right channel. Press that again. Now we have mono safety, both transmitters setting equally to the left and right. However, the right track is going to have a -6 dB safety track. So a quieter version of the exact same recording in case your audio goes too loud and you clip on the left channel. Now that's ideal if you're going to be doing any post-production audio processing. Press the mode again, and then now we have stereo, where the left transmitter is going only to the left and the right transmitter is only going to the right channel. Now only in stereo mode, you can see here that the transmitter 1 and 2 left/R is actually selectable. By clicking that, this allows you to swap which transmitters on the right and left. You can swap back and forth, but in every other mode, that's not an option. Now the next option we have is recommended camera settings. Click on that, and then you can actually choose the brand that you use. I'm gonna go to Sony. So once your camera is highlighted, swipe up, and then you have the option for model. Go ahead and click on that, and then you can find your supported model that it has recommendations for. For me, the A7S III. Once that's selected, swipe back up to go to the home. And now you'll see here on the top left corner, it has a +9. That's the gain for the receiver. That's the recommended gain amount for my specific camera model. Now you can always do it manually yourself, but whichever one you choose, just make sure that you are not clipping any of your audio. Let's go back to the menu. For now, I'm gonna go back to none on the camera brand, just so I don't have any preset settings. Now next we have receiver gain. Now, because I turned it off, it's at 0. But if I would have left it at my Sony a7S III, it would show here plus 9 dB. But here's where you can choose manually, and all you have to do is click and drag to whatever amount you want. Or you could use the dial. Now here we have volume. This is the volume dB for your headphones. And then here we have an option for power on off camera simultaneously. And with this on and connected to your camera with the 3.5mm jack, when your camera turns on, it's going to turn on your receiver. When your camera turns off, it's going to turn off your receiver. Personally, I tend to turn this on, so that way in case I ever turn off my camera and I forget to turn off my receiver, this already turns off and saves battery. Next we have auto off. By clicking on that, if you turn it on, this is going to turn off your receiver if there's no activity in 30 minutes. Again, saving you some battery life in case you forget to turn it off. This I tend to leave off. And lastly, we have link device. Now, if your transmitters ever get unpaired from your receiver, you can always relink them by putting everything back in the case, shutting the case, and then reopening the case after a few seconds. Everything should be linked, but if it's not, you can manually link through here. By clicking on here, you can press link, and then it'll say relinking causes link devices to be forgotten. So right now, since they are linked, if I press confirm, it's going to unlink these transmitters. I'm going to go ahead and do that just so I can show you. So I'm going to press confirm. Now, if your transmitters are on, it should relink. And if not, just hold the link button until you start to see it flashing. And now it's ready to be linked. This one's not connected. It's searching for a device to link to. So let's go back to the menu, receiver settings, link, confirm. And now because this is blinking, it should connect to it. Now it takes a few seconds, but then it should be good to go. So that's all the receiver settings. Let's go to the transmitter settings. On the transmitters, you could put a low cut filter to cut off your low end. I don't like to do that because it tends to make the sound a little too thin for my taste. Transmitter gain. Here you can change the gain for each transmitter by selecting it. But again, as I showed you earlier, you can actually do this from the home screen. Next, we have 32-bit float recording. Click on that. By having it on, when you record internally into a transmitter, it's going to be 32-bit float, which has a higher dynamic range and really does give you a lot of flexibility when working with your audio in post. I always have 32-bit float on. But if you don't care for 32-bit float and you just want 24-bit, which has a smaller dynamic range, but are smaller files, you can go ahead and turn it off. I'm going to leave it on. Next, we have record stop lock. By turning this on, if I were to press record on the transmitter, it's going to start recording. However, since I have a lock, if I press it again to turn it off, it will not turn off. The only way to stop the recording now is to manually go through the menu on the receiver to stop the recording. This is great if you're going to put the transmitters on a person that might be fidgety or might press it by accident. So when I'm miking other people up, I have this on. When it's just myself and I'm a little bit more aware, I tend to have it off. Next, we have auto record. With this on, it's going to automatically start recording into your transmitters internally the moment they are turned on. I'm not a fan of that, so I tend to keep that off. Next, we have storage. If we click on that, you can see the storage amount for each transmitter. It shows you how many hours are available. Now you can actually reformat each transmitter individually to empty out the storage space. So if it's getting full and you've already copied out your files to a computer, you can go ahead and click on one of them, and then you can drag that little memory card symbol, and then it'll start reformatting. Now this can take several seconds, and then it'll say formatting complete. Click confirm. Then next we have vibration notification. With this on, your transmitters will vibrate the moment there's a change, whether it's mute, unmute, record, stop recording, noise reduction, etc. I like to have that on. LED indicator. If you turn that off, it'll actually turn off the constant LED indicators so that if you have this on a person and the light is starting to show in the camera, you can make your device a little bit more discreet. Personally, I tend to have it on and I make sure that my transmitters are not anywhere visible on camera. Back in the main menu, aside from receiver settings, transmitter settings, now we also have overall settings. Click on that. You have your brightness, you can change for the screen, language, date and time, factory reset, version, so you can see if you need a firmware update, compliance info, basic information, and that's it. All right, now when it comes to the transmitter, it actually only has a few buttons here. You also have a USB Type-C port, you have the record button, you have a link button, a power button. At the top, you have the 3.5mm mic jack, and then you have the built-in microphone here. You can use this for charging, firmware updates, as well as accessing internal recorded files and copying them to computers. Now the back does have a clip that fits perfectly into a cold shoe. And then you have these very strong magnets. And then at the bottom, you have the metal pins for the charging case. Each side does have an LED indicator, and you can use the transmitters by themselves to record internally without having to use the receiver. To turn it on or off, just hold the power button. When the device is not paired with a receiver, you'll see here that it is blinking green. Now, if you want to relink a transmitter to put it into search mode, just hold the link button until it starts flashing fast. And now it's in pairing mode. So if you want to pair it, you're going to have to go ahead and go into the settings on the receiver, as now it doesn't have a device that it's paired to. Now, while it's on, if you want to activate the noise cancellation feature, you can do that by pressing the power button once. It'll change the green light to yellow. Now, right now, you might not really be able to see the difference, as it's not fully yellow, it's more of a greenish yellow. To take off the noise cancellation, just press the power button again, and it'll go back to green. Now, you can start and stop recording by pressing the record button once, and it'll start recording internally either with the built-in mic or if you have a lavalier connected to the mic jack. Now, if you want to connect a transmitter to a device using Bluetooth, like a mobile device or a computer, just hold the record button for 2 seconds until the green light starts flashing blue. Not sure if you can tell, but now it's flashing blue, meaning now it's discoverable by Bluetooth devices. If you're using a phone, you can just go into your Bluetooth settings, find it, connect to it, and you'll be good to go. If you want to get out of the Bluetooth mode, hold the record button again, and now it goes back to green. So that's pretty much everything about the DJI Mic 2. That's how to use it, all the buttons, functions, menu. If you're interested in getting the DJI Mic 2, I do have links in the description where you can purchase it. It doesn't change the price that you get it at, but it does help this channel. Hopefully this video helped you. If it did, please drop a like on this video, drop a comment below if you have any questions, and please make sure to subscribe. We have a lot more videos coming soon, including more videos on the DJI Mic 2. So make sure to check out our playlist called Audio. Thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.